After 15 years with the Vikings, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski knows all about Minnesota. But can he beat them? We'll find out next on EA Sports.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they run through as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's getting people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led by a 3-time Pro Bowler in his 5th season. It's Desean Watson.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week. So keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
On first down, Chubb going to get forward for only about a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And Nelson's spaced opening. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. The Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. The quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and 4th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
And it felt like it watching the game tape. He got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass. So he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
The numbers a week ago for Cook. 19 carries, 5 yards past 100, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line. Every time they go to the bench, you tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
On 2nd and inches, Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to get the football back at their own 17. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And the longtime Cardinal Patrick Peterson up to make the tackle. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. We can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big play that time for Cleveland. So the Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown, making a nice catch.
And eating up a nice chunk of yardage as well. And how about how he ended the play? Being the guy that makes the catch over a defender to finish things off. He really competes for the football well.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. A give. This is Chubb. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but eventually they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Flushed out right. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Let's go. Let's go. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
A run for Nick Chubb. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 6-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Go! It's run! It's run! They run it! A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
We're scoreless after 1. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And this one is right through. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So a costly penalty yardage-wise, as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Cousins gives way to Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out.
Do what we do.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Malik McDowell able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Browns to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Well, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson escaping the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into 1st downs and hopefully points.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Getting the ball is Cook running left, and he'll get it down here to the 43. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see a...
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8 as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And complete right side to Cook. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. Flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Oh, terrific play there by Harrison Smith. And one thing you always get comfortable with going into a game, his smarts and his ability to be around the ball. He tied his career high with 5 interceptions last year. Another one goes to his total.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see
How are you?
cutting in that direction, you tend to go towards them.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Throwing is Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after?
I'm good, how are you?
1st and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have now allowed a lot of receivers to run.
I have to go.
And there's another example, another incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns 16. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Okay, thank you for dropping in.
Here for 1st and 10. Now Cousins. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here comes Johnson on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10.
The Browns drive about to get started. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Watson on first down, eluding the pressure right. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. To throw again on second down. Watson flushed out right.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Watson. Steps away to his left. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Antonio Brown, as the first half is winding down. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland.
Like and subscribe.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway as they take over here with 11 seconds remaining.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Joe Burrow leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, let's head to Philly to see what's happening with the Eagles. In that matchup, all even in their battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. C.D. Lamb, a touchdown reception. On to a look at the next-gen stats for the Browns in that first half. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Final adjustments being made in the locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too. And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings featured back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. Second in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Now Brown. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here's Watson. He's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
He'll have a 1st down past the 40. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee. And that means 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. Chubb, and he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. He needed less than a foot. He didn't get a whole lot more than that, but he did get the 1st down.
Well, he and his offensive line created enough push where if he was able to just fall forward as he was able to there, that would pick up the 1st down. As you noted, didn't need a whole lot, didn't get much more than that.
It was Anthony Barr that time who got in there and made the play. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll try the air now with Watson rolling. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Being chased out left. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. A shotgun snap for Watson, escaping the pressure right. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. Touchdown, Browns! Kareem Hunt, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. McLaughlin for the extra point. And he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Complete. It's Johnson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Throwing. Cousins. To Jefferson on the slant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Cousins now from the 50. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
After the interception, here's Watson. Flushed, and he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. PAT up and good by Rosas. As this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Sitting down to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. And the Browns getting set to go. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here, or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Watson eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Now Watson sliding out of the pocket. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. Now the Browns will use the 1st of their 3 timeouts. It's just their 1st. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Handoff comes to Chubb. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Everson Griffin picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. This to make it a 2-score game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Browns, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they're going to fall to 3-1.
Coming up, we'll see the Browns and Chargers facing off for the 28th time since 1970. LA's looking to make it 11 wins in the last 14 against Cleveland. It's Week 6, and it's next.
From the future home of Super Bowl 56, there's a look at SoFi Stadium just south of downtown Los Angeles.
Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out 2-25. The Chargers set to go on offense for the first time, and they are led by the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2020. Now in his second season out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. And incomplete to open things up.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Foreseeing completion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Herbert has it knocked free. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for Browns TD. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll hand off here to Eckler, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 18 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's been a touchdown machine for this season. He's #1 in the league in rushing touchdowns. So that has to help the entire offense.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Myles Garrett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They'll be led by a 3-time Pro Bowler in his 5th season. It's Desean Watson.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Watson now to throw.
And finding the tight end Hooper. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the carry, it's Chubb. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
Well, this defense for the Chargers, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Watson off play action. On the move, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there.
That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. With it is Brown. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd and 12, Watson. This is caught by Antonio Brown. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. To throw is Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
Let's go. On 3rd down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
They go with Chubb on second down. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation. Take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
From the 27, Watson. He'll buy some time right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
A give. This is Chubb. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Chubb. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. And now White. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. More from L.A. in a moment. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You get the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Flushed out right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Desean Watson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaim center stage. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now a 2nd down and 6. Here's Herbert. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And Mike Williams was a 1,000-yard receiver in 2019 and had to battle through some bumps and bruises in 2020. He's known for his big plays downfield, but he also can make the dependable catch as well.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Again, Herbert. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
from the gun. Herbert on third down. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And complete right side to Cook. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 2. Herbert now. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Going to throw on third down with Herbert. Williams brings it in. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Here's Herbert. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was the Bengals who were able to pick up the victory at home. Joe Burrow, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, let's head to AT&T Stadium as we check out the Cowboys at home in Dallas. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. Big Zeke, Ezekiel Elliott, 2 touchdown runs. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Melvin Gordon, well over 100 yards on the ground with a pair of touchdown runs. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Browns. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Browns drive about to get started. The 3rd quarter starts with a run by Chubb, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Great effort by Derwin James on the stop. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson escaping the pressure right. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw, Watson. Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Chubb with a first down carry as he'll get about 3 out of it. Make it 2nd and 7 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now a good job shifting right, finding his target. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 21.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. 4 yards remain for second down. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run with Chubb. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll try to run with Hunt. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. Throw left side complete. That's Cook. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
And Jared Cook's been doing this for a lot of years, the last 2 in New Orleans. The Chargers turned to him after losing Hunter Henry to New England in free agency, and they made a nice decision.
Herbert on first down now. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. On 1st and 10, Herbert will return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL. Oh, that's just not fair. And now room to run. Touchdown, LA. Chargers are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. They're going to try and run. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped him in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
The Browns drive about to get started. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hi. I'm good, how are you? I have to go. Okay, thank you for dropping in. Like and subscribe.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 43 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A give running right is Chubb. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll try the air now with Watson. Dancing to his left. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game, and when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing to start the drive. Herbert. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
3rd and long, it's Herbert. This is caught by Williams. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. 4th down for Herbert. Desperation time. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Chubb running right. And he'll be close to a first down at the Chargers' 15-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. And 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
And he is going to have a Browns first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
They run. Chubb. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Handoff comes to Chubb.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of time.
And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Browns are closing in on a 4-1 start as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is now 24. That time a 6-play drive. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. It's complete to Cook. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I...
I am going to end it here. Thank you everyone for joining. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you're new.